Here we are, April 8th or 9th. A little update on the 175 crank rebuild. I did get my crank back from the machine shop. So, new bearings, seal, center seal, end bearings. Got it all lubed up with assembly, cleaned up nice. Got my case all cleaned up. Today's effort is get these lined up on my shift forks. I got my surfaces all cleaned up. Got some Honda Bond 4 I'm gonna use. The culprit of the whole ordeal was the center seal. As you can see, it came out in these 3 pieces. So hopefully, having this centered in here, I got my oiler already lined up. I worked on that last night just to get everything kind of lined up with the hole in the top case. So we should have oil coming down from the top end. I did replace my 5th gear shaft because my neutral light was all busted, that whole little collar and plastic piece. Even the new one was all cracked up, but I got it in there. I got continuity on here, so hopefully we're all good there. I did a dry test fit last night, like I said, just to get my bearing and everything lined up. And hopefully these are centered out nice. They're not touching the webs. There's about a 1/4 inch of free play between these two, so I'll just kind of get them, everything kind of centered out best I can. I like to get my surfaces clean, you know, they're all cleaned up, ready to go. Anytime a transmission, it's just trying to get these little fingers into these 3 slots. Just hasn't been any fun, so we'll see what happens. Another update, got the cases sealed up. You can see a little extra left over there, but I'm trying not to touch anything else. I got the bolts underneath, torqued. Spent way too much time trying to get the neutral switch hooked up in the proper wires. Because I said the shaft I had to replace, and it's all good now. And I said all those forks getting on in there. I had to take it off just once, but all in all, trying to lube up the bearing and stuff in there. I do have, it's hard to see, but just trying to dump oil, more oil down there too. Just it's all lined up with the whole hole in the bearing. Just kind of get a layer of oil over everything. So try and leave it for tomorrow. Then I'll start putting the rotary valves and stuff on. So, but yeah, everything shifts 4th and 5th gear, go through the gears, transmission does its thing. So I should be good. Here we are the next day. Let my seam sealer seal up. So I think I'm good there. I started with the timing and getting the clutch basket on and installed my rotary valve and made sure everything was lined up on the pin and the spline there. This gasket or this seal was new just last summer, so I just reinstalled that one. This O-ring was all new behind there. Now, just for record, it's hard to see that little timing mark on that spline, but that's the one that lines up with the pin. There's a mark there, and there's kind of a mark there. Not really, there's like punch marks. They're not nice round machine ones. Like in the clutch, as you can see, there is a nice little, my finger is kind of messing that up. A nice mark there, and then up on the generator, that is all lined up too. So, as far as I can tell, this thing is timed. So I'm gonna run that bolt on and the crank, reverse threads of course, or left hand. So I don't strip that out. I'm gonna put my basket in there. I just got the retaining spring in there holding it. I'll put my rest of it on there and go from there. Now that I have the both side rotary valve covers on, new O-rings, new seal, I took that one apart. That one was turned in there and was in really bad shape, so that might have been part of my air leak. I do have the cylinders on, pistons lubed up, clutch cover, clutch installed. That's just kind of sealing up and doing its thing. This does turn over nice. I don't know if I can get it with one hand here, just being on the bench. But just know, yeah, pistons in. These were new pistons when I got the bike running like a year ago, new rings. So they didn't have very many miles on. The wrist pins are new. So next step, I think, is getting it actually in the frame so I can get my oil pump. And I gotta drain the gas out of it, put some premix in it. I'll hang my carburetors on, plug the wires up. So hopefully next time will be of course, you know, put my heads on and stuff like that, but I'm gonna wait till I get it in the frame because these cylinders are kind of a pain in the frame on this one. So we'll update it hopefully when it's kind of together. All right, got the engine installed. So to tighten up a couple bolts, set the clutch together. I did prime the oil lines. That's why there's oil all over the place. Tuck my heads down, 140 foot-pounds. Can't put the exhaust on yet, but like I said, prime my oil lines the best I could. A little syringe and 2-stroke oil. I'm gonna throw some premix in it, whichever, you know, as long as there's some oil running to it. But I know when it starts, I always hold that wide open so it really starts smoking. A little bit of wiring to do yet. So I'll knock that out in just a little bit here, but it's gonna take a little break. But yeah, my pile of parts is less and less. Hopefully I can fire it up here in the next hour or so. All right, here goes nothing on the first start. The engine being all apart. Get the gas on, key on. Not much battery, but hopefully it's enough to spark. Open choke. Well, just got back from the maiden voyage. Everything went well, just took it really easy. I do have premix and the oil injection must be pumping, so it is extra rich, but nice now. My neutral light works. All set.